welcome to my channel. As you can tell by the title, I'm doing an updated my top 10 favorite BTS AO3 fan fictions. That is so much to say, but that's what we're talking about. As I said, this is an updated video, so if you haven't seen the first one, you might want to check that one out. I did it about 2 years ago, and I mentioned some pretty great stories, and the comments are filled with even more amazing stories. I asked people to comment, and they delivered, so that's a really great video if you want to go check that one out. But here we are, an updated version. Hello. 2 years later, preferences might have changed, And not gonna lie, some of the stories I mentioned in that last video, even though that was 2 years ago, to this day, like, some of those stories are still like my favorite to this day. But I want to give you guys some new stories, not new as in like date wise, but new as in since that last video I've read these and I love them and I want to tell people about them. So yeah, first let me tell y'all, I've been wanting to do this video since quarantine started. Like I'm not kidding, I've been wanting to do this video for a good 2 months now, but my family has been home and I'm just not comfortable talking about fanfics and ships and smut all out loud with my family just nearby. I'm not about that life. If you are, go ahead, do you, but I can't be in here talking about alpha and beta and all that with them right there. Like So yeah, and plus I was noticing the views were actually going up on the last video. I'm like, okay, y'all looking for some stories, let me help y'all out. So I finally have the house to myself, so I'm jumping on it. I'm taking my opportunity. So let's get to it. I'm using my phone to record, so I'm going to be kind of looking down at my laptop here to look at the stories and make sure I'm remembering to mention certain things. I've read all these, but sometimes certain things about the story may slip your mind. I've read, I don't even know how many stories, one-shots on AO3, so just bear with me. I need to mention every single one of these stories is the members with each other. I'm not even gonna lie and say that I still read the reader with the member, your name, fix. I have nothing against those fan fictions at all, but I just personally stopped reading those a while ago and I just haven't looked back. So every single one of these, members with each other. Yeah. So my very first recommendation is After Hours by Humanology. This is an alpha, beta, omega type fic, so if you're not into that, go ahead and skip, it's fine. In this story, Yoonmin, in this story, Yoongi and Jimin were childhood friends, but there was an incident that happened and it made Jimin think that Yoongi didn't like him because Jimin had, a little childhood crush on Yoongi. Something happened, Jimin was like, oh, okay, he doesn't like me. Flash forward to years later, Jimin and Taehyung are living together, they're friends. Hoseok and Yoongi are living together, they're friends. Taehyung and Hoseok are together though, together. Taehyung goes into heat, Jimin goes into heat, so Hoseok comes over to be with Taehyung. Jimin was supposed to go by Jungkook because I think he might have been a beta or something, but he wasn't available. So he just went over to Hoseok and Yoongi's place. And Jimin's an omega, Yoongi's an alpha. He's going into heat, like, stuff is about to get real. Feelings are coming back up. Great story, not gonna give it away. Recommend it. It's so sweet because it was like a childhood thing and like something happened and Jimin just assumed that Yoongi didn't like him. And then years later, like, all these feelings come up or come to the light and it's just so sweet. And the smut, Okay, so yeah, that's my first recommendation. After Hours, Humanology. Okay, number 2. Bitch. Verified Amateurs by B-Bomb. This story right here, one of my friends actually sent me this story and I was done for. It's Namjoon and Yoongi, which is a pair that I don't really read often at all, and I was pleasantly surprised with this. So basically, Namjoon and Yoongi are roommates, and they were roommates, Q Vine. And they're like just broke. Like, I'm talking like barely making it paycheck to paycheck. It's like, bro, what is going on? So I want to say it was Jin or Hoseok, you know, the friends, brought up camming. They were like, hey, maybe y'all should try camming. That could be cool. Like, that might work for y'all. Y'all already live together. Just go ahead and do some videos, you know. And they actually take up the idea, and they're friends. They are friends. Namjoon and Yoongi are friends going into this camming, and then they start doing these videos. Feelings start developing, and oh my god, it's I'm doing a lot, but like, I'm serious because I'm hyping up the story. Like, this story is good. Like, I'm sorry, I'm saying like a million times, it's disgusting, I know, but this story is really great and I really recommend it. The smut is amazing. The friends to lovers dynamic, I die for it every single time. Like, that's just the cutest dynamic ever, to go from friends and then just develop into this. It's the sweetest thing in the world, and put some hot smut on top of that. I'm all for it. Verified amateurs, yes. All right, number 3 is called Love, I Have Wounds by Charlena. This is definitely a lot more toned down than the previous one. This is on the sad side for sure. I deal with depression and anxiety, so this was just one of those stories. I was probably just feeling bad, and I was just looking for some sad shit that I could relate to. This is Taekook. Basically, Taehyung and Jungkook live in the same apartment building, I believe. Jungkook is dealing with, you know, depression and just kind of struggling to find his place and purpose in the world. Taehyung, I don't want to give the story away, but Taehyung also has, you know, just things that he's dealing with, struggling with, and there's just a lot of loneliness going on both ends, and they just kind of come together, and it's a really great story. It's definitely a bit more on the serious side. It's not lighthearted and fun at all. But it's a really great story, and it's just one of those ones I just have a really soft spot for. It was a great story. I was going through a really sad time, and it was just a story that kind of comforted me, so I love it. All right, we gonna pick it back up. Logical Thinking by Only a Fangirl. There are no words that can even, like, that's how I feel when I think about this story. Okay, this was kind of what launched me into really, really loving polyamorous type stories. This is Namjoon, Hoseok, and Yoongi. They're all friends, and one day Hoseok is like, I think Hoseok was like, hey, I'm trying to go out with this dude or whatever. I don't know what it was. I think he was like going to go out with somebody or trying to do like one night stands or whatever. And he was trying to learn how to go down on another male. And so he asked Yoongi, he was like, can I go down on you? Like, I'm trying to practice. I'm trying to learn how to do this. You're the perfect person because we're friends. We're close. I can do this with you. And they were like, okay, well, to make it not awkward, let's just have Namjoon here too, since he's already here while you're asking. And this was a complete friends to lovers. So they started out just, I'm sorry, friends to lovers. I just go crazy for it every time. It's such a sweet story. Like, you think like, oh, Hoseok going down on him? That don't sound sweet. That sounds nasty. But I'm so serious. Like, it started out as just a little friends with benefits type thing. We're gonna hook up. It's convenient. We're always with each other. And then over time, it's like you're just watching them fall in love. And it's just the sweetest thing. Like, I love this story so much. I'm not even kidding. Yes, yes, yes. But also, I just want to say, Only a Fangirl, this author, every single thing that they have written is amazing. Like, I have read almost everything that they've written, and just to plug a little honorable mention in there, because I'm serious, everything that they write is amazing. Happy Orgasming, that's how I found Only a Fangirl, through that story. I'm gonna just plug that one in there real quick. That don't count in the top 10. That's just a little honorable mention. Happy Orgasming, really good, but go through their whole list because their work is amazing. Yes. Logical Thinking, Happy Orgasming, just Only a Fangirl in general. Alright, number 5 is Lavender and Honey by Colby Jack. This story is so amazing. It is written by a friend of mine, and I'm just so thankful. Like, I tell her this every time we talk about the story. I am so thankful that she shared this story with me because it is so amazing. And I'm not just hyping this up because it's my friend. This story is so good. It's Yoonkook, which is a ship that I didn't really read all that much, like, in the beginning of my AO3 days. But oh, how times have changed. I love Yoonkook. I love this story. Okay, so in this story, BTS, the music group, they have disbanded. And it kind of shows you how Jungkook struggles with that. He struggles with kind of, I guess, just knowing who he is outside of BTS, because that's, you know, what he put his all into for so long. It's like, who am I without this? Who am I without ARMY there to cheer me on, you know? And then he also has this huge crush, which, I mean, he pretty much is in love with Yoongi, and Yoongi has no idea. And I think like a year or almost a year went by without them really speaking to each other, and it kind of shows Yoongi and Jungkook, you know, just kind of reconnecting after the disbandment, and, you know, meeting up with each other again, and feelings are coming up and struggles are being talked about. And I just love this story because it's just so real. Putting, you know, the whole ship thing aside or whatever, it just feels like it's really Jungkook talking, you know? It feels like it's really him talking about his struggles with, you know, knowing who he is outside of BTS, because he went into the group so young. And it's just such an amazing story. You know, it's not just about Jungkook and Yoongi being together. It's about so much more. And I could go on about this story, but I'm not going to. Like I said, I'm not trying to hype the story up because it was written by my friend. This story is really amazing and it's dear to my heart. And I just love it so much. But also a little honorable mention. This doesn't count in the top 10. She also has another story called Chance Encounter. Check that out. It's good. Alright, number 6. The Most Beautiful Flower Is You, The Last to Bloom. I don't know how to say that, so I'm not even going to try. But this story was like a roller coaster. It's friends to lovers, Jungkook and Jimin. And, you know, they're in college, they're friends. Jungkook has a crush on Jimin. And at some point, the feelings are brought up. The smut is amazing, but it's like, this is one of those stories where you're reading it and you're like, okay, yeah, this is a fanfic, because like, there's no way in the world people can be this soft with one another. Like, it's like, that's just how it is. You can't even put it into words. You just go. It's amazing, and I love it so much, and it's so sweet, but like sexy at the same time. And I just love when it's like balanced like that. So good. Check it out. This story right here is definitely more on the serious side. This is like hands down one of the most unique stories I've ever read on AO3. It's called Echo by Daebon. This story right here. Okay. So it's Taeji, Taehyung, and Yoongi. And Yoongi is disabled. I can't quite remember exactly what happened to him. It's been a while since I've read it, but I still know that it's an amazing story. He's in a wheelchair, and basically he needs a caregiver. And he hires Taehyung to be his caregiver. And it's honestly such a sweet story, but so sad at the same time, because it really does show you the struggles, that a person has being disabled and just, still trying to have somewhat of a romantic life. And it really tears at the heartstrings, and I really, really love this story a lot, and I think it's so great. So it's definitely more on the serious side, more on the sad side. It's not an easy read, not for the lighthearted, but it's a really great story, and I really enjoy it. Like, even like just thinking about it now, like I felt like myself just like, it's a really great story, but it's a lot emotionally, so just letting you know. It's really great though, and I really recommend it. It's a really great story. Alright, number 9. Picking it back on up. Sheep Among Wolves. This is one of the best. I know I keep saying that so much, but I'm so serious. This is one of the best things I've ever read in my life, period. Like, I'm not playing. I'm sorry. It's just when I come across something that is alpha and alpha, I go feral. Like, I'm not kidding. Alpha. So yeah, if you're not familiar with alpha, beta, omega dynamics, the alphas are usually seen as the most powerful of the food chain. They don't submit to anyone. And I just love when I come across a story where an alpha and an alpha are together in their submission. And, okay, I'm sorry. Let me tell you about the story while I'm over here talking about alpha. So, this is Jungkook and Namjoon. I mean, how do I get into this? Basically, Jungkook is into alphas. He's into alphas. He knows that. He kind of hides it. He doesn't really, want to display that to the world. He's into alphas. He's an alpha that's into alphas. And Jungkook is actually a part of this, like, it was some, like, agency thing where, like, if alphas want to screw other alphas, you can go through this, like, agency or whatever. And Namjoon and Yoongi kind of find out that Jungkook is a part of that. And they're like, okay, can we, like, do something with you? And Jungkook's like, alright, whatever, I'm down, cool, alright, but I don't submit. Like, we can do all this, but I don't submit. And they're like, alright, cool. And of course, Yoongi kind of backs out. He's uncomfortable with it. He thought he was down, and then he was like, oh no, I'm not for this. But Namjoon was like, hey, let's get it. You gonna submit to me. And Jungkook was like, I guess I am. Like, this is a horrible reenactment. But Jungkook just completely, I'm not trying to give the story away, but he just completely lets the walls down for Namjoon. Like, I'm just a slut for, like, degrading type shit. And so that's why I'm just going feral over here. I'm all for, that's just me, personal preference. I'm all for the power play, power dynamic, degrading, talking down type. That's just me. I'm disgusting. Ignore me. But it's a great story. If you're into that, I'm telling you, this is it. Like, for real. I don't know how many times I done read this thing. Like, it's amazing. Alright, so we are at the end. This is number 10. It is called I'll Be Your Gravity, You Be My Oxygen by Minuscule Jimin. Now I'm going to flip it on y'all. I was just talking about alpha. This is omega. Y'all didn't think I was into that one, did you? I'm kidding. Ignore me. So this is Taekook. I can't remember if Jungkook had feelings for Taehyung beforehand. I can't even remember, but this is definitely still friends to lovers either way, because they started out as friends. Everyone just kind of assumed that Jungkook was going to present as an alpha. He's just kind of big. But then he presents as an omega, and everybody's like, oh, okay. And he was kind of scared and disappointed and just overwhelmed by all that. His friends, Taehyung and Jimin, are both Omegas. They're like, it's alright, we got you, it's cool. Long story short, you know, he goes into heat. Taehyung is there. It's the sweetest thing. Like, Omega smut is hot, but it's so freaking sweet at the same time. I love it. Like, it's so soft. It's like, oh my god, I love this. It's the softest thing, but like sexy at the same time. Yeah. And it's like I said, I'm all for friends to lovers. There's probably so many friends to lovers stories I've mentioned in here. I'm just all for the friends to lovers nowadays. Like, it's the sweetest thing. This was a really cute story, and I really, really love it. So, yeah. But I hope you guys like these recommendations. I really love every single one of these stories so much. So, I hope you guys like them too. And let's go. Come on, y'all. Comment down your favorite stories. Let's get these stories circulating some more. And if you ever want to message me and be like, bitch, and talk about a good-ass story, I'll leave my Twitter in the description if you ever want to talk to me about these stories, because I mean, they're good as hell, you know, and it's nice to talk about them with somebody sometimes. So comment down below if you want. You can message me on Twitter. Whatever you want to do is fine. So yeah, thanks for watching. Give it a like, subscribe for more content, comment anything else you may want to see below. I'm all for the suggestions right now. I have no ideas. And yeah, comment down your FICS. Let's get them going. Alright, thanks for watching. And stay safe, you guys. Stay safe. Alright, thanks for watching. Bye.